My beloved child, if your heart longs to be enveloped in the grace of heaven, if you are silently weeping and yearning for a divine touch, then now is the moment to let your faith arise like a fire that nothing can extinguish. Do not wait until you feel strong. Do not wait until everything is perfect. It is in the very moment of your weakness, weariness, and emptiness that true faith is born. I am calling you to step into a sacred moment, a turning point that can no longer be delayed. What I am looking for in you right now is not an achievement, not a religious formality, not an appearance of holiness. The only thing I desire to hear from you is a simple yes from the depths of your soul. It does not need to be grand nor loud, just a whisper, "Yes, Lord, I believe." That small agreement carries power enough to unlock heaven's gates and initiate an entire destiny. I do not come to frighten you. I do not call you into the light to punish the shadows within you. No, my child. I come to awaken your soul, to stir what has fallen asleep, to call forth life from places you thought had withered beyond hope. Because I know the time of delay has come to an end. The days of hesitation, avoidance, and half-hearted faith are over. You have stood at the threshold for too long. You've lingered between desire and fear for too many seasons. I have waited gently, reminded you patiently, and whispered to your heart again and again. But now the time has shifted. It is no longer the hour to shrink back. This is the moment to step forward, fully, decisively, and without looking back. Not by your own strength, but by my power, which is ready to lift you. Half-hearted faith is no longer enough to withstand the waves of this age. Lukewarm love will not keep you grounded when the days grow dark. Partial obedience will leave you exhausted, vulnerable, and easily overcome. I am calling you into a deeper life, where faith is not merely words, but the rhythm of your heart, where love for me is not fleeting emotion, but a rooted, unshakable foundation that trials cannot destroy. You know in your spirit that you were not created for an average life. You were not formed to merely survive. You were made to shine. You were called to bring life where there is death, to carry hope into despair, to shine light into darkness. But you cannot do that if you are still withholding part of your heart, still clinging to false safety, still entangled in compromise. My beloved child, it is time to listen with your whole soul. There is no longer room for wavering, no more time for silent compromises of the heart. You cannot continue to live suspended, one step toward me and one step held back by empty things. You cannot keep placing me second as a backup plan, as a refuge only in crisis but forgotten in peace. I am the only one. I am the source of life, the Creator who formed you with an eternal purpose. I cannot and will not share that place with any idol, whether it be a person, a desire for recognition, a fleeting emotion, or habits that slowly drain your soul. You cannot serve two masters. No one can fully walk in the light while still gripping the darkness. No one can proclaim truth while secretly bowing to lies to please others. No one can claim to love me, yet let the world steer their heart through the daily decisions they make. You cannot live with one foot in this fleeting world and one foot in my eternal kingdom. You must choose. And not choosing is a choice, one that carries great risk. Today I place a decision before you, not to frighten you, but because I love you too much to watch you continue down a path that only appears safe. Choose life or death. Choose light or darkness. Choose truth or deception. Choose me or choose what is temporary, deceptive, and will soon vanish. There is no longer a gray area, no more spiritual ambiguity disguised in beautiful words. Light and darkness cannot coexist. One must retreat. And I am asking you now, what will you allow to reign within you? This is the moment I draw a line, not with sword or thunder, but with the sacred words born of my deep love for you. A divine boundary drawn in the sand, clear, undeniable, and permanent. From this moment on, you cannot say you did not know. From this hour, every word spoken becomes a witness in the spiritual realm. You may cross this line and step into what I have prepared for you, a place of abundant life, unshakable peace, divine purpose, and true presence. Or you may turn away, choosing what feels easier, more familiar, but also more hollow. The choice is yours, but I warn you in love, every decision carries with it a spiritual consequence that cannot be avoided. You might say, I'm not ready, but readiness does not come before obedience. It follows it. When you dare to choose me, even with trembling, I will fill you with strength from heaven. You will walk, not by your own power, but by the resurrection life that lives within you. But if you wait for everything to be convenient, you will miss the most precious thing, my presence, calling you into a life no longer distracted, no longer divided, no longer tethered to things that do not belong to your soul. My child, there are things you must release, and you already know what they are. Relationships that have pulled you out of alignment, small compromises that have slowly eroded your faith, voices from the world that you've listened to more than mine, old wounds that you still hold on to as excuses not to surrender fully. These things, if allowed to remain in your heart, will keep you from crossing the line I have just drawn. They won't just slow you down, they will pull you back, away from the path of life I have marked out for you. I will not force you, I will not manipulate you like a pawn on a board, but I will not remain silent. I will keep speaking, I will keep calling, I will keep shaking what must be shaken, because you are mine. You are a seed sown for a great harvest. You are a messenger to a generation desperate for truth. You are a lamp set on high, not to be hidden, but to shine, and I need you to step into your place. Without delay, without hesitation. My love for you has not diminished, but that love also cannot allow you to remain in the comfort of half-heartedness, because half-heartedness cannot save a soul. Half-heartedness cannot overcome the darkness. Half-heartedness cannot bring the victory. Only full surrender can lead you into the fullness of life and the reality of true power. You cannot walk into wholeness while still clinging to broken pieces. So, my beloved one, I call you today, not with fear, but with love that beckons you into what is rightfully yours. Cross the line. Choose me. Not because you must, but because you want to. Because you believe. Because you know that apart from me, there is no life. There is no truth. There is no peace. Choose me. With all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength. And when you choose, I will be there, to receive you, to restore you, to equip you, and to use you in ways no one could ever imagine. This is the moment. This is the day. This is the calling. And you, my chosen one, respond with the fullness of your being. Lord, I am yours. I choose you. I step over the line. For that is where true life begins. That is where you will finally find yourself whole, undivided, undistracted, a life fully surrendered to the glory that never fades. For far too long you have walked as if time were infinite, as if you were guaranteed a future to reconsider, to delay, to decide later. But my child, time does not belong to you. It does not rest in the palm of your hand as a possession. It is not a commodity you can spend at your convenience. Every breath you take is a clear expression of my mercy over you. Every beat of your heart is a testimony of the grace you've received, though you did nothing to deserve it. The world will whisper in your ear, "Take your time. There's no rush." It will entice you to postpone surrender, to keep living in the comfort of indecision, and to believe that there are no consequences for saying not yet. But my child, that is a lie wrapped in ease. It is the soft cushion of complacency the enemy places beneath your head to lull your soul into spiritual slumber. While you drift in dreams of the temporary, he is stealing the most precious things I have given you. The enemy of your soul does not rest, does not pause, does not quit. He doesn't retreat just because you ignore him. In fact, your indifference is the opportunity he's been waiting for. He doesn't need you to fall immediately. He just needs you to delay. He doesn't need you to reject me outright. He just needs you to postpone surrender. He doesn't need you to say no to my calling. He just needs you to keep saying not yet. But today I have come to tell you, not yet is an open door through which darkness steps in. I have been calling you through many seasons, sometimes in the stillness of morning, sometimes in the whispers of the night. I have knocked on your heart through sermons, through songs, through the gentle gaze of a friend, through dreams that stirred you long after you awoke. I have used gentleness, patience, and kindness to draw you near. And yet, you've hesitated. You've thought that maybe tomorrow you would be more settled, more ready, more full of faith. What you don't realize is that today is the day of salvation. This very moment is the beginning of true transformation. So today I do not speak as I did before. Today I do not come as a guest knocking quietly, but as a defender, issuing an urgent call to rescue the soul of my beloved child from a house that is beginning to crack. I do not do this to frighten you, but because I see what you cannot yet see. I know the snares laid along your path. I know the schemes waiting to pounce when your hands let go of prayer, when your voice ceases to worship, when your heart no longer longs for my presence as it once did. The enemy is not merely after your peace, he is after your divine identity. He does not want you to realize that you are chosen, that you are called, that you carry spiritual influence over the lives of others. He wants to exchange your birthright, to make you forget who you are in me. He seeks to rob you of your faith so that you live as a wanderer, without purpose, without power, without armor. But today I declare enough. It is time for you to rise. It is time to draw a clear line between yourself and the world. It is time to stop calling what is wrong right just to make life easier. It is time to lift your head and remember the very first word I planted in your heart. You are mine. Do not mistake my patience for approval. My patience is not permission. It is space. Space for you to return, to be realigned, to be restored. But if you continue to ignore it, even that patience will come to a close. Not because I have stopped loving you, but because your heart has grown too calloused to hear my voice. Now, I need you to grasp this more than ever before. You are living in a spiritual war. This is not symbolic. This is not a vague metaphor. It is a brutal reality, a war for your soul. Even if your eyes cannot see it and your ears cannot hear it, every part of your life is being touched by it. the constant anxiety with no clear source, the unease even in moments of peace, the sudden emptiness that strikes even in your fullest moments. These are not fleeting emotions. They are signs. They are alarms. They are echoes from a battlefield unseen, where your soul stands at the center. The enemy doesn't need to destroy you in one blow. He only needs to confuse you enough to make you look away from me. He only needs to plant vague ideas in your mind that I am too distant, too abstract, not practical, not necessary in your everyday life, that I only love when you perform well, that I only show up when you are holy enough. He whispers, "You are unworthy. You are not good enough. You are not loved." And slowly he builds a wall between you and me, not with bricks, but with lies. But today, my child, I shine the light of truth on those lies. I have never been far. I have never stood outside the pages of your story. I have never withdrawn from your pain, from the dreams that shattered, from the disappointments you've hidden from everyone else. I have never taken my eyes off you, not for a single moment. The truth is this: you were created to live in a deep, vibrant relationship with me, not like a stranger visiting a home, but as a child who belongs in the house. I did not create you to endure endless cycles of addiction, emotional numbness, inner chaos, or exhausting escapes from yourself. I did not send you into this world to get lost in hollow promises or broken dreams. You were born to walk in my light, to be covered by my presence, and to live a life marked by purpose, love, and a spiritual freedom no one can steal from you. But this truth only becomes real in your life when you choose me, not with a half-hearted promise, not with a momentary emotional surge, but with your whole heart. When you stop holding back parts of yourself out of fear, fear that I might change too much, fear of being hurt again. When you surrender not just the obvious sins, but even the small compromises. When you bring me the broken pieces, the locked-away rooms, the emotions you're too afraid to face, only then can I begin the sacred restoration I've longed to release in you. Do not be mistaken. I did not come to control you, nor to place rules on a soul that is already hurting. I came to restore what was lost. I came to call back the identity you've forgotten. I came not to demand, but to give. Not to imprison, but to unlock. Not to point out every mistake, but to wipe away tears. To heal the wounds and to rebuild from the ruins something more beautiful than you ever imagined. My child, you may have heard much about me through books, from others, through past experiences, but today I want you to meet me for yourself. Not a concept, not a religion, but a living being. A father who longs to embrace his wandering child. I am not seated on a distant throne. I am standing right at the door of your heart, gently knocking. But I will not barge in. I will not force the door open, for I love you enough to wait until you willingly invite me in. That is true love, not coercive, but patient. The enemy knows that if you truly surrender, if you truly open your heart to me, you will no longer be under his control. You will no longer be led by emotions, circumstances, or the judgment of others. You will begin to live as one who is chosen, as light in the darkness, as salt in a flavorless world. And that is what he fears most. Because when you rise, nothing will be able to stop you. So, my beloved, today I ask you to look within. Stop avoiding it. Be brave enough to face the places in your soul that have been held captive. Say to me, Lord, I choose you. I hold nothing back. No more compromise. No more delay. And when you say those words, even if with trembling, even with tears, all of heaven will move. The door will swing open, a new wind will blow in, and the restoration will begin, not tomorrow, but right now. I am here. I am ready. I have not withdrawn my love, even though you have turned away many times. But now is the time for you to return, not because I need it, but because your soul does. Because eternity is waiting for you to step into true freedom. My beloved, I have never stopped watching over you. Every day, every hour, every moment. Whether you believe it or not, whether you're aware of it or not, my merciful eyes have never left your life, even when your heart drifted from mine. I have seen it all, the seemingly harmless decisions that slowly pulled you away from the truth. I have witnessed the quiet choices that misaligned your heart, leading you away from heavenly wisdom and into the comfort of human approval, worldly ease, or fleeting emotions that drown out the gentle voice of the Spirit. I see clearly what you have allowed to take root in your soul: the subtle compromises, the unhealthy connections, the thoughts no longer pure, the dreams that seem noble but are no longer built on my foundation. You may be able to hide from others, keep up a righteous appearance, but you cannot hide from me. I do not only see the surface, I see the deepest vibrations of your soul. Where you are weary, where you are empty, where you have stopped yearning for me like you once did, I see how your heart, even without loud rebellion, has slowly turned away from the light. Not through a dramatic defiance, but through a quiet cooling down. A little delay here, a little compromise there, and suddenly you no longer hear me as clearly. My words have become faint among the many other voices. My presence is no longer your first refuge, but a backup plan after your own efforts have failed. You are drifting from me, not with a sudden pivot, but with small, repeated steps. And that is the most dangerous path of all. My child, if you continue to ignore this calling, if you continue to harden your heart and dismiss the message offered in love, then I must speak a hard but necessary truth. You will face the consequences of separation, not because I desire it, not because I am angry or unloving, but because you, by your own choice, have stepped out from under my covering, the only place where true protection, true peace in true eternal life can be found. I created you to live close to me, to walk alongside me, and to discover your true self in deep communion with your Creator. I did not design you to be lost in a world filled with noise, but lacking true love. I did not breathe life into you so that you would spend it chasing after things that leave your soul dry and depleted. Every day lived apart from me is a day in which the true meaning of your life begins to fade, a day in which your future drifts further from the brilliance it was meant to hold. I do not desire for your life to end in regret. I do not want your final moment on this earth to be the realization that everything you pursued has vanished like smoke, and the one thing you truly needed was left behind. I do not wish for you to experience heartbreak just to understand my value, but I love you enough to awaken you. Even if my words unsettle you, even if they shake the very things you've built upon an unstable foundation. If I were silent, that would be the time to worry. For as long as I am warning, as long as I am calling, it is because I still have hope in you. I still see the light I placed within you. I still believe you can return. I still have open arms ready to embrace you as if there had never been distance between us. But I cannot make the choice for you. The decision to return is always in your hands. No one can step across that line for you. I cannot procrastinate. No one can choose me on your behalf. You must be the one to rise and say, Lord, I no longer want to live apart from you. My child, look around you. How many things that once promised fulfillment have become meaningless? How many relationships, once convinced you that you were loved, now leave behind wounds? How many things you sacrificed so much to chase after, now fail to make you feel whole? This is not coincidence. It is a wake-up call through your circumstances, a whisper in your heart saying, it's time to come home. I am here, not with condemnation, but with forgiveness, not holding punishment, but carrying a new robe and a ring already prepared for the returning child. I am not waiting for you to become perfect before I welcome you. I am simply waiting for your decision to return. With repentance, with mustard seed faith, with a sincere heart, and the moment you turn back, I will run to meet you. Just like the father ran out the door when he saw his child from afar. For my love does not wait at the threshold. It bursts forth in joy at our reunion. So today, my beloved, let this moment be the beginning. Let my words pierce through every layer of pretense, through every gray area clouding your soul. Let your heart break before the truth, so that I may mend it with new life. Do not wait for another season, another week, another day, for no one knows when the final moment will come. My beloved child, in the midst of all the clamor echoing across this world, in the midst of false words, confusing messages, and unspoken emotions that crowd your heart, I long for my voice to be the one that echoes deepest within your soul. I yearn to fill your heart not with fleeting things or shallow promises, but with eternal peace, with love that never fades, and with a holy strength that keeps you standing even when everything else falls apart. You are not created to live in confusion, anxiety, or emptiness. You are not formed to chase human expectations or to seek worth through the eyes of others. I know there are moments when you feel breathless under the pressure of life, facing questions without answers. But I am here, and every word I speak is not a cold command, but a seed of life planted to yield eternal fruit in your soul. Each word from me is a shield, a compass, a reminder that you are not alone on this journey. My child, do not let my gentle voice be drowned out by the screaming sounds of fear, disappointment, or self-condemnation. Do not allow unhealed wounds to cause your heart to close off from the gifts I am pouring out. Listen to me not only with your physical ears, but with a heart that longs for truth and trembles at love. For I do not speak just to be heard. I speak to bring transformation, to pour into you something no one else can give. The fullness of life, peace that surpasses all understanding, and joy that is not dependent on circumstances. Walk with me, my beloved, not in the way that treats me as just a part of your life, but in a way that allows me to become your everything. Let me take your hand and lead you through places unknown. Let me go before you, making a way where you once saw only dead ends. Let me walk beside you when the darkness feels too thick, for I do not merely know what you need, I know when you need it, and the best way for you to receive it. When you take my hand and surrender, miracles will unfold, not because of your striving, but because I can do far more than you have dared to hope for. I have prepared a future for you, not just one that is better than you expected, but one so beautiful it surpasses anything you've ever imagined. I know you've been disappointed. I know there are things you thought I would do that didn't unfold the way you expected, but I never forget my promises. What I have spoken I will fulfill. Yet what I have prepared does not always arrive on your timeline. It comes in the right moment, in the right way, and it is always complete, because I am the one who sees ahead, the one who knows all things, and the one who loves you not based on conditions, but by nature. If your heart is filled with anxiety, let me replace it with the peace that flows from the very source of life. Do not cling to your burdens as though you must carry them alone. Lay at my feet every fear, every weight, every worry, for I am not only strong enough to carry them, I rejoice in carrying them with you. The peace I give is not like the counterfeit kind the world offers. Mine is the peace that remains when everything around you crumbles, that stays when tears fall, and that stands firm when the winds of doubt blow through. If you are feeling empty, it is not because you have nothing, but because what you have cannot satisfy the spiritual hunger within your soul. But I have a joy for you, a joy not born of favorable conditions or material satisfaction, but of my intimate presence. It is a joy that does not rely on praise or achievements. It is a joy so deep that you can smile through your tears, sing in the storm, and love even those who once wounded you. And if you are living each day without knowing why you are alive, then know this: I have a divine purpose for your life. Not a goal you have to strive and strain to discover, but a sacred intention that was etched before you were even born. This purpose is not merely a job, a role, or a title. It is the quiet yet powerful impact you will have on the world when you walk in the position I have ordained for you. When you live in alignment with that calling, confusion will dissipate. Your life will gain clarity, purpose, and spiritual weight. My beloved child, today I come to you not with condemnation, but with a love saturated in truth. True love does not turn a blind eye to danger. True love will speak up, will warn, will cry out for the wandering soul to return. And now I must say this to you, with all the seriousness and tenderness in my heart. If you continue walking down the path of compromise and rebellion, if you keep allowing your desires to lead rather than letting me guide you, the consequences will be inevitable. Not because I wish punishment upon your life, but because sin by its very nature brings destruction. You may believe you're still in control, that what you're allowing into your heart is just a little, not a big deal, or only temporary. But sin has never been content to remain small. It is a hidden thief. It does not knock loudly, but slips in quietly through the smallest cracks in your soul. What you once called harmless fun will gradually become invisible chains binding your spirit day by day. What seemed like a personal choice will open a gate for the enemy to enter and erect a stronghold in your mind. And each time you ignore my word, each time you push aside the gentle nudging of the Holy Spirit, your heart builds another layer of stone, cold, dry, and unyielding. You cannot walk with me while clinging to the very things that are killing your faith. You cannot call me Lord while bowing to desires that pull you away from holiness. I am not calling you into a joyless life. On the contrary, I long for you to step into a life that is whole, joyful, and truly free. But that life cannot emerge if you continue to tolerate the very things that are silently destroying your soul from within. Your enemy does not rest. He is not kind. He waits for every vulnerability, every small compromise, every door you have not yet closed. He does not need to bring you down in a single day. He only needs you to delay obedience, to grow lukewarm in faith, to become so busy that you no longer hear my voice. And when that happens, the things you once thought were just entertainment will become a prison. The things you deemed harmless will become spiritual fortresses, and your repeated avoidance of me will harden into a life where light no longer penetrates easily. My child, I do not say this to frighten you, but to awaken you. The truth is, if you die in such a state, separated from me, unrepentant and unsubmitted, you will face eternal separation, not because I have cast you out, but because you chose to live apart from me when you still had the chance to return. I stretched out my arms on the cross and shed my blood to redeem you from destruction. But if you refuse that, if you reject the gift of life, I cannot force you to accept it, for true love never coerces. I have spoken to you many times, through dreams, through people, through those moments when something inside you whispered that things weren't right, even if you couldn't explain it. That was me. That was me whispering, calling, pleading from the depths of the unseen realm. Do not continue down this path. Come back. Surrender. Live truly. And if you are reading these words today, know, this is no coincidence. This may be one of the final times I knock on the door of your heart before you stray too far. I will never stop loving you, but you can drift so far that you no longer hear the sound of my love calling. My child, be honest with yourself. Look at your life and ask, what is truly leading me? What has taken the throne in my heart? Is it me, or is it the very things you're afraid to let go of? Examine your mind. Is it filled with clarity and peace, or is it clouded by thoughts you can no longer control? Look into your own eyes in the mirror and ask, am I living like someone who has been saved? If the answer is no, then it's time to change. Completely, boldly, and without delay. I am not the one who withdraws love when you are weak, but I am also not the one who tolerates pretense. I love you too much to leave you in the darkness. I love you so deeply that I will do anything, call out, shake you, warn you, just so you might rise and step into true life. But in the end, it is you who must choose. No one can choose for you. No one can surrender in your place. You must come to me yourself and say, Lord, I don't want to die with a hardened heart. I don't want to lose my soul over things that are so small. You still have time. Your breath remains, and that alone is proof that hope has not run dry. But do not treat time lightly. Do not assume there will always be a tomorrow, because no one can say with certainty that they will have another chance to repent. And I do not want to see you filled with regret in this life, much less shattered in eternity. So today, my child, return, surrender. Break every chain disguised as compromise, and step into the freedom that is truly yours. Let me wash your heart, renew your mind, and fill your life with light, and with unending hope. Do not choose destruction when I have already paid the price for you to live. Do not choose darkness when my arms are open, inviting you into the light. I do not condemn you, but neither will I lie to soften the truth. Today, life and death are set before you, and it is you who will decide. I wait, and I am always ready to welcome you. When you return with all your heart, my beloved child, chosen, called, and loved with an unchanging love, know that I am now moving through your very life. It is no accident that you are hearing these words. It is no coincidence that your soul is stirred with each sentence. This is the quiet yet mighty work of my Spirit, for I have placed a portion of my glory within you, so that when the appointed time comes, you will not only be saved, but also be sent. Do not keep this to yourself. The words I speak today are not for you alone, but also for the many souls still struggling in the darkness you once knew. Share this message with the one whom your heart feels drawn to, for that stirring is not your own thought, but the prompting of my spirit moving within you. I will use you as a lamp to shine light upon wandering souls. I will bring them home. Through every word you speak, every act you offer, every step you take, into the places I have prepared for you. I do not desire to lose even one of you. I did not create a single soul to be swallowed up by the emptiness of this world. You are my workmanship, not by chance, not as a placeholder, but as the result of a divine intention. I have intricately woven every fiber of your soul with eternal love. Every detail within you, your gifts, your emotions, even your hidden wounds, rests in my hands. I knew you before you ever knew yourself, and that means this: you are not abandoned. You are not forgotten, and you have never stepped outside of my loving plan. But, my child, the good plans I have prepared for you, plans to prosper you, to set you free, to fill you with hope, can only begin with one thing: complete surrender. There is no room for compromise. There is no space for a divided heart. I need all of you, so that I may pour all of myself into you. When you hold anything back, even a little, you are blocking the flow of living water I long to release over you. But when you open your heart entirely, keeping nothing hidden, not the pain, not the wounds, not the questions, not even the unfulfilled dreams, I will step in and build something far more beautiful than anything you ever dared to imagine. Stay with me fully in this moment. Let your heart soften. Do not rush past the words of warning that are now resounding. I know how easily you can be distracted. I know how swiftly your emotions can shift. But my beloved, I urge you, read this message through to the end. Do not skip a single second, for every sentence is saturated with my spirit. And if needed, read it again, for it may be in that very repetition that my word pierces the hardest soil in your soul, the place you've never let me touch. Let each word sink deep into the innermost part of you, the place that has been shut for too long. Do not fear opening it. I have not come to condemn, but to rescue. Do not think it is too late. Do not think you are too far gone, too broken, too sinful. I can begin again from the very place you thought was your end. I can write a radiant story from ashes. But this can only happen if you allow these words to soak into your being, not as mere information, but as the fire of revelation. Let every phrase be a spark that awakens your soul, stirring it from spiritual slumber. How long have you existed without truly living? How long have you walked with a hollow heart? How long have you smiled while your inner land lay scorched and barren? I did not create you merely to exist. I made you to live in the light, in power, in fulfillment, and in a living relationship with the one who called you by name. Understand this, my child. Every time you ignore my voice, your heart draws closer to spiritual numbness. And if that numbness persists, it will rob you of the ability to hear me, not because I have stopped speaking, but because your heart has hardened too much to listen. I do not want that for you. I do not want the one I so dearly love to be buried in the silence of their own choosing. So today, in this very moment, choose life. Choose awakening. Choose to listen. Choose surrender, and share this message as a testimony that you have heard, you have felt, and you have been transformed. For who knows? through that simple act, another soul may be saved. Perhaps someone on the brink will be pulled back. Perhaps the one you love is waiting for your courage to guide them home. My beloved, come close to me, sincerely, without walls, without masks, and you will receive the revelation your soul has long been searching for. I know, I see the exhaustion in your heart as you try to make sense of what is happening in your life, as you wait with faith for answers that seem forever delayed. But today I declare, the revelation you desire has not been withheld. It is being unveiled, bit by bit, stream by stream of light, to the heart that dares to approach with surrender and unwavering trust. I have always spoken, not so that you might merely read my words, but that they may come alive in you, rebuild what has collapsed, and revive what has fallen. Each day I continue to whisper life, power, and restoration into your being, for I see in you something more precious than the purest gold, a heart that still beats for me despite the wounds it carries. I see in you perseverance amidst the pull of many distractions. I see a resolve that refuses to compromise, a longing to overcome trials, even when the winds make you sway. These things have not escaped my notice. Not a single effort of yours is forgotten. Not one tear falls without being remembered in me. And so, today I speak to you. Do not give doubt any room in your soul. Do not let the voice of disappointment or the shadows of your past drown out the truth I am speaking to you now. Do not let the echoes in your mind convince you that you are alone or that nothing is changing. For it is I who speak. It is I who have heard your silent pleas. Yes, even the ones you could not find words for. It is I who witnessed every tear that fell in the night, when no one else was watching, when no one understood, and no one was there to comfort you. I was there, in the quiet room, when you curled up in anxiety. I was there, when you forced a smile while your heart was breaking. I was there, when you fell to your knees, not in strength, but in collapse. And I remembered it all, not because I am a God who controls, but because I am a God who loves. I love so deeply that I miss not a single movement of your spirit. I love so patiently that I wait without leaving when you push me away, without giving up when you doubt me, without staying silent forever even when you once thought I had abandoned you. My beloved, a new season is opening, not because circumstances have changed, but because your heart is ready. The things you could not understand before will now begin to make sense. The prayers you've long prayed and haven't yet seen answered, I am setting the time to reveal them in heaven's perfect moment. But the condition for everything to begin is still this: a heart that draws near, not as one begging for a passing favor, but as a child returning home. Come to me completely, without holding back, without hesitation, for I never hesitated in choosing you among millions of souls. I have never regretted giving you blessings others may not even notice, and now I want to give you something even greater, a divine revelation that will transform the way you live, the way you see the world, the way you love, and the way you trust. I long to show you the depths of my love, so that you will no longer live just to get through, but to overcome, to influence, to touch other souls with the light I have placed inside you. Oh, child, if you hear my voice today, do not harden your heart. Do not scroll past. Do not turn away. For what I give is not just comfort. It is a wake-up call. It is an invitation to enter a new chapter, one where regret has no place, where everything that was broken will be rebuilt upon a firm foundation, where you will no longer see yourself as small or insignificant, but as a vital part of my great and glorious plan. Believe this: I did not choose you because you were perfect. I chose you because I see within you the potential to reflect me in a world desperate for light. I chose you because you dared to keep going, to keep believing, to keep loving, even after being hurt. And it is from your very weakness that my power will be revealed. So today, come to me just as you are, with every scar, with every question, with all your weariness, and I will lift you up. I will heal you. I will deliver you. I will open your eyes to see what only those who fully surrender can behold. For true revelation does not come from the striving of the mind, but from a heart that knows how to yield, how to trust, how to love, and how to wait. And you? Yes, you who are chosen, you who are listening, you whose spirit is stirred, you are that one. You are the one I am speaking to. You are the one I am calling. And if you turn back to me today, you will never again have to live in the shadows of uncertainty. You will live in the light, not the light of intellect, but the light of revelation, which illuminates your path, warms your heart, and leads you into the destiny I wrote for you before the foundations of the world were laid. Come to me. Do not delay, for I am waiting, and the revelation is ready to be unveiled to the one who knows how to truly listen. My beloved child, be courageous and entrust to me the burden that has been silently wearing down your soul, the sorrow that has quietly drained your strength, the heavy thoughts that, like an unseen current, have carried away the peace your heart so longs for. You were never created to carry these burdens alone. It was never my intention for you to walk through this world in isolation, weighed down by wounds that remain unhealed. And so today I extend my invitation to you. Give it all to me. Not just a portion, not only the things you think are easy to express, but all of it. Every unseen tear, every sigh in the quiet of the night, every hope that has faded in silence, every wound you've learned to ignore just to keep going. I am the one who not only listens, but carries. I do not only comfort, I transform. I do not merely wipe away your tears. I turn pain into purpose and brokenness into beauty. And today, I give you my peace, not the fragile kind the world offers, but a peace that is deep, enduring, and surpasses all understanding and circumstance. This peace does not come from outside you. It comes from my very presence living within you. It is a peace unmoved by the noise of the world, by upheaval or emotion, by rejection or pain. It remains steady even when you cannot make sense of what is happening, and it stands firm even when the path ahead is still unclear. Do you not know, my child, that I am the one with limitless power? There is no scheme of the enemy that can outmatch the wisdom and sovereignty of your God. My very being, the Eternal One, the Almighty, the Creator of heaven and earth, has always held and will always hold the authority to dismantle every hidden attack the enemy sets in motion to destroy your soul. I am not passive. I am not distant. I have entered your battle. I have stepped into the very center of your storm. I have heard every unspoken accusation thrown against you. I am aware of every trap meticulously designed to choke out the divine life within you. But I also know something greater than all of that. You were never destined for defeat. You were made to overcome. You were anointed not to be crushed, but to rise. And because of that truth, I will not allow those dark schemes to prevail when you take refuge in me. When you abide in me, no weapon formed against you can prosper. When you remain in me, every wall the enemy erects will crumble before the radiance of my power flowing through you. I know that sometimes you ask yourself, why do I still feel so weak? Why are there days when I am too exhausted to even pray? My child, it is because the enemy sees the vast spiritual potential within you, and so he relentlessly targets the deepest parts of your soul, your worth, your identity, your trust in me. He knows that if he can shake your confidence in my love, he can rob you of all that you were called to inherit. But I saw this long before it came, and that is why I come to you now, to remind you, I am still here, and I am intervening, not with loud displays, but with quiet power that nothing can stop. You may feel worn down, as if the fire within you is but a small flickering ember, but do not be afraid. I do not need a blazing flame to begin again. I only need a spark, one tiny but genuine light, a heart still brave enough to whisper, Lord, I am still here. I still believe in you, and from there I will ignite a fire stronger than before. My beloved child, when I say that I carry your sorrow, it is not a mere figure of speech. I truly enter the deepest places where you have hidden your pain, those corners of your soul you've dared not let anyone touch, and there I bring healing. There I work wonders. There I fill the emptiness. There I resurrect what you thought was long dead, for nothing is hopeless when placed in my hands. No loss is ever permanent when I step in. So today, let go. Let your heart relax in the arms of the one who never gives up. Allow me to do what only I can do, to heal the old wounds you thought were too late to mend. Believe that no burden you lay before me will ever go unanswered. Every tear that falls is cradled tenderly within my heart. My child, do not wait for a miracle to come from the outside. The miracle begins now. From the moment you choose to place your sorrow into my hands and open your heart to receive peace from the source of life itself. The wild winds of confusion will quiet. The silent battles will fade. The whispers of fear will be drowned out by the steady strength of my presence. My precious one, do you not know? My timing is never off. I do not arrive early, nor am I ever late. Everything I do is orchestrated within a divine order, where time is not measured by human clocks, but by the rhythm of eternal purpose. I know the waiting sometimes wears you down. I see the moments you thought you were ready, yet my answer seemed delayed. But I tell you this, not a single moment of waiting is wasted. It is not a delay. It is a preparation. It is in the waiting that I am quietly shaping you, refining every thought, every reaction, every hidden motive. I am deepening your faith, teaching you endurance, planting within you a trust that is stronger, purer, and more real. You may not realize it, but in those days that feel empty and meaningless, I am laying a foundation so secure that you will be able to carry something far greater than you imagined. Each moment of longing is not in vain. They are drops of pure water cleansing your soul, helping you discern what truly matters and what is only temporary. Child, I know the bigger picture is still unclear to you. Right now it may feel like you're standing among scattered pieces, unable to see how they will fit together, uncertain why you're in this season at all. But rest assured, when you cannot yet see the whole, I already see it completed. When you don't know which way to turn, I have already prepared the path. When you feel lost, you are actually being led to your destined place. Do not be afraid of my silence. Do not mistake my quiet for absence. Even when you cannot hear a sound, I am still at work. I am opening doors you never imagined, healing parts of you you didn't even know were wounded. I am soothing those aching places in your soul you have never dared to face. I am realigning everything so that what I give will come at the right time, in the right way, and to the version of you that has been shaped through this waiting. And for this reason, today, I invite you. Come to me. You do not need to clothe yourself in polished words, nor hide behind a facade of strength. Come just as you are, honest, weary, longing. Let your heart weep in my presence. Allow yourself to be weak so that I may be your strength. Be still before me, and you will find peace beyond description. A peace that surpasses every worry, every calculation, and every limit of human understanding. Imagine, no, believe it with all your heart, that you are being enveloped in a sacred space where every external sound fades away, and all that remains is stillness and my love. Feel me drawing near, not as a distant, majestic king, but as a tender father who gently embraces his beloved child. My arms not only hold you in safety, but they carry life, healing, and hope into the places where you've grown too weary to believe again. There is no part of you my love cannot reach. There is no emptiness too deep for me to fill with my unconditional gentleness. I know there are things you haven't been able to share with anyone, the silent failures you carry, the dreams quietly buried, the hurtful words still echoing in your mind. But with me, you do not need to hide. I see it all, I understand it all, and I love you still, unchanged and unshaken. My love does not depend on your performance or outward appearance. It does not demand perfection, only the courage to come closer. You don't need to wait until you're stronger. You don't have to wait until everything within you is fixed. It is in the very moments when you are broken that I can create something new. It is when you are weary that I become the strength to your faltering steps. It is when you have nothing left to prove that I can testify through your life to the miraculous power of my transformation. So, my child, do not let doubt or shame hold you back. Do not let the old voices of pain cause you to shrink away from my embrace. Come forward, step in, sit before me and allow me to love you like no one ever has. Let your every breath melt into mine. Let the scattered pieces of your soul be gathered and placed beneath the healing light of my presence. For it is here, in my nearness, that you will find the answers to questions still unspoken. You will see that the waiting is not a void, but a sacred space I use to plant seeds of maturity, so that one day you will reap a harvest more beautiful than anything you ever dared to ask for. Do not let the waves of anxiety wash away your trust in me. Do not let invisible threats, negative voices, or swaying emotions block the light of truth I am shining upon your life. You are held in my mighty hand, and no one, no thing, can snatch you from it. I am the keeper of your destiny, and you can rest assured that your life is not adrift in the wind, nor ruled by randomness. Every step you take, every turn, every trial, each one is held within the deep wisdom of my providence. You may not yet see the full picture, but I am writing every chapter with my eternal love. I have never abandoned you. I have never changed my mind about the good things I planned for you. My love for you has no beginning and no end. It is eternal, unshakable, and stronger than anything that has ever touched you. Therefore do not be afraid. My beloved, do not let the darkness blur your vision. Do not allow illusions, curses, spells, or any force of darkness to plant fear within your heart. No demonic power, no matter how cleverly disguised, can cross the boundary I have placed around you. No shadow can pass through the holy blood-marked barrier I have drawn over your life. I have sealed you with my spirit, and that seal is an unerasable sign. You belong to me. The enemy will try, and it has tried, in every possible way. It lurks, waiting for cracks to sow seeds of doubt, weariness, and disappointment into your heart. It speaks lies through the mouths of others. It manipulates difficult circumstances to make you question, have you forgotten me? But my child, do not let those noises drown out the eternal truth. I am your fortress. I am the rock that cannot be moved. I am the one who covers you under the shadow of my almighty wings. The enemy may craft its schemes, but I am the one who shatters every dark plan with the radiance of my light. There is no slander spoken against you that will stand when I rise to defend you. No lie can endure when I expose the truth through the brilliance of my presence. I am your advocate when you no longer have strength to defend yourself. I stand between you and every accusation, removing your shame and replacing it with glory. Remember this, my child. You are not meant to fight alone. I am not only the one beside you in the joyful moments. I am also the one who goes before you, waging war on your behalf when you have no strength left to lift your hands. My love is not limited by your emotions, nor is it dependent on your actions. I do not love you because you are worthy. I love you because I am love. And this love is strong enough to save you, steady enough to keep you, enduring enough to overcome every condemnation and every wall the world, or even your own heart, has built. This love not only reaches you, but it wraps around you like holy armor, silencing every voice that does not come from me. You belong to me. That is not symbolic language. It is a truth full of power. You are mine, not temporarily, but eternally. You are not the product of mistakes, of failures, or of wrong choices from the past. You are the masterpiece I shaped from dust, into whom I breathed life, and whom I called by name. You are my child, and no one can undo that. And because you are mine, I have personally shielded you with a covering that no darkness can penetrate. It is the holiness that radiates from my very presence. As you walk, whether through the valley of shadows or upon the mountaintops of glory, you do not walk alone. Schemes of darkness may surround you, but I am the light that encircles you. Sinister fingers may point and accuse, but I am the one holding your hand. Voices of condemnation may echo around you, but my voice will thunder in your spirit. This is my beloved child, the one I have chosen, the one no one can snatch from my hand. So, my beloved, take heart. Stand firm in the truth. Lift your head high as one who knows they are guarded by the Most High Himself. Let your heart find rest in the assurance that no darkness is greater than the light I have placed within you. No verdict can overrule the forgiveness I have poured out. No battle you face is stronger than the arms I have stretched wide on your behalf. Come closer to me than ever before. Do not inch slowly toward me in hesitation. Run. Run like a child who dashes into the safe embrace of their father when the storm begins to roar. I am not merely waiting for you. I have already stepped toward you, arms open, heart wide, ready to become the shelter for your weary soul. My very being is your stronghold, your unshakable rock, the only truly safe place for a soul longing for real rest. When the waves of fear rise up, when the shadow of doubt covers you like a sudden storm, remember, you are not alone in this vast sea of life. It is precisely in those trembling moments that I hold you close. It is in the silence of your curled-up sorrow that I wrap you in a presence both gentle and powerful. The warmth from me is not a fleeting feeling. It is life itself flowing into every hidden corner of your soul, into every wound, every scar, every unspoken longing still waiting to be healed. My child, there is no power in heaven or on earth that can compare to my authority. No darkness is thick enough to overshadow the light that radiates from me. No force, no matter how intricately it is orchestrated, can shake the protection I have placed around you. The schemes of the enemy, no matter how dangerous or cunning they may appear, must bow before my eternal truth and absolute sovereignty. Every strategy born of darkness will dissolve like morning mist before the dawn. For true light cannot be extinguished, and you are living in that light when you hide yourself in me. Let your heart find rest. Do not strain to carry everything on your own. Do not believe that you must become strong enough in order to deserve shelter. I do not love you because of your strength. I love you because you are mine. And it is in your weakness, in your weariness, in your moments of collapse that my love becomes the most visible. Surrender every need to be in control, and let me be the one who steers the ship of your life. When you allow me to guide, I will take you through every storm, not by your own might, but by the unshakable strength of my hand. Allow my peace to saturate every part of your life, not only the pleasant places, but also the hidden corners, the areas you hesitate to face, the memories you've buried deep. I am not afraid of those places. On the contrary, it is there that I long to enter, to bring light, to renew, and to breathe life again. When my peace flows into your soul, you will witness a miracle unfold. Inner turmoil will be replaced by stillness. Insecurity will give way to trust, and pain will gradually make room for hope. The world may try to pull you away, to drag you from my light. It will whisper that you are lost, that you are not enough, that I have been silent. It will try to make you question your worth, my love for you, and your purpose within the grand design. But my voice resounds louder than every lie. My voice has never ceased, and if you become still enough to listen, you will hear that I am still calling you home, not back to religion, but to a living, whole, and intimate relationship. I am inviting you into the light, a light that not only pushes back the darkness around you, but illuminates the deepest places of your heart so you may live truthfully, love fully, and believe wholly. It is in that place you will no longer feel the need to prove yourself, because in me you have already been chosen, already been loved, already been adopted as my own before the foundations of the world. And it is within that very light that I will lead you into a life filled with blessing, not just material provision, but inward wholeness, wisdom beyond reason, and joy that transcends circumstances. My beloved child, the life I have prepared for you is not a life of endless striving to earn acceptance, but a life overflowing from me, a life that draws from the endless well of living water. I have placed within you the power to impact, the power to bring healing simply through your presence when you carry my light. I want you to live not merely as one who survives, but as one who conquers, not with earthly power, but with the unshakable peace that flows from heaven. My precious one, do not hesitate to press deeper into my presence, into the place where nothing can remain hidden from the light I am pouring over your life. When you seek me not just with your intellect, but with your soul's yearning, with every heartbeat that aches and every breath lifted like incense, it is in that very moment that I will draw near to you. No veil can prevent me from revealing myself to a heart that is sincere. No barrier can keep me from embracing the child who earnestly longs for me. For I do not hide from those who hunger for me, and I do not turn away from the soul that humbly draws near. I do not stand far off to test your devotion. I stand close, to awaken in you an even deeper longing, a love that transcends all reason. My love does not shift like the weather, nor does it erode with time or fade with the tides of human emotion. Whether you feel it or not, whether the world affirms or rejects you, my love remains, steadfast, unshakable, and unconditional. It is a love that has crossed every boundary, broken every chain, and entered the darkest corners of your life to bring you into the light. And not only do I love you, I have offered everything I have for you, not because you earned it, but because you are mine. You are the breath from my heart, the reflection of the beauty I planted in this world. No force in the darkness can obscure this truth. No accusation from the mouth of the enemy can alter the eternal declaration I have engraved upon your soul, that you belong to me. You are not a wandering soul lost in the vastness of the universe, but a chosen one, sanctified and sheltered by the Creator himself. The enemy may whisper lies and bind your thoughts with fear, but he cannot change the truth, and the truth is this: I live within you. My light burns in you like a flame that cannot be extinguished. Now you are no longer the abandoned or the rejected, but a victor upon the invisible battlefield. I have crowned your head with a diadem of glory, not made of gold or precious stones, but of my own radiant light. Every wound you once carried, I have turned into a medal of survival. Every tear you shed has become a pearl in my hands. You did not give up, and because of that, I call you an overcomer. I call you an overcomer, not because you never fell, but because every time you fell, you rose again, with hands lifted, reaching for me. And so that you would not walk alone through seasons of opposing winds, I have sent my angels to go before you, beside you, and behind you. They are not merely invisible guards, but carriers of light on every path you walk. Though you may not see them with your physical eyes, believe that every step you take is accompanied by a divine whisper. Each time you prayed through tears, an angel stood beside you and carried your cry to the highest heaven. Every time you felt alone, they formed an unseen embrace around your soul to shield it from the cold of this world. No weapon, no matter how forged from the depths of hatred, can touch your soul if you hide yourself in me. No cruel word, no scornful gaze, no invisible blade can wound you when I am your fortress. For I am not a distant protector watching from afar. I am the one who holds your hand in the middle of battle. I do not stand at the sidelines as you struggle. I descend into the very mire to lift you out. I am the unshakable one, standing beside you as a stronghold that cannot fall. My beloved child, keep walking forward, even if the road ahead is still clouded in mist. Hold on to my word as you would a compass in the stormy sea. Know this: even if you lose your sense of direction, I am still watching you, still speaking to you. You are never alone. Your victory does not lie in instant results, but in the steadfastness of your heart when everything seems to fall apart. You are a conqueror, not because you've never known fear, but because in the midst of fear, you have still chosen to believe in me. Each day I am renewing your mind and placing into your hands weapons that are unseen by human eyes: faith, promises, and the power of heaven. These are not given merely to help you survive, but to enable you to live radiantly. You are called to be a torch that lights up the darkness, a living testimony to the unconditional love of a God who never changes. As you walk in close companionship with me, you are not merely chasing after a destination. You are entering into a living relationship with the very one who created you. Every step you take, whether slow or swift, whether in brilliant light or dim shadow, is never without purpose. Do you realize this? Even when you feel lost, I am still holding your hand. I never let go. I am the one quietly steering your soul through perilous turns, over mountains that seem insurmountable, guiding you to a place where victory is not merely a reward, but the mark of a journey led by divine power. Do not let temporary obstacles obscure your spiritual sight. Do not allow the things you do not yet understand to extinguish the flame of faith within you. For every trial you face today is not a punishment, but a lesson for your growth. They are the instruments I use to forge your faith into something as strong as iron. These trials are not meant to cause you to fall, but to reveal that you can stand, move forward, and overcome when your trust is rooted in me. Do not judge your journey only by what your eyes can see, for my greatest works often begin in the most hidden places, where it is just you and me and nothing else. My child, every time you choose to trust me while everything around you urges you to doubt, you are planting an invisible seed in the field of eternity. That seed will not be forgotten, nor will it be wasted. It will be nurtured by my faithfulness, watered by my unchanging love, and in its appointed season, it will bloom and bear fruit, issuing in harvests of blessing over your life and even the lives of those around you. You may not always see its growth with your natural eyes, but trust that it is quietly unfolding in the sacred soil of obedience. Every action you take with a sincere heart, every prayer whispered through tears, every moment you choose what is right, even when no one is watching, all of it is remembered by me. Not a single drop of your sweat goes unnoticed before my eyes. When you place your small, hope-filled efforts into my hands, I envelop them with my vast presence. I will cause them to prosper, not in the way the world measures success, but in the way heaven deems precious. You do not need to understand everything in order to be blessed. All I ask is a heart that is honest and willing to obey, and the rest, leave it to me. Do not burden yourself with loads that were never meant for your shoulders. I did not design you to live alone in weariness. I have already prepared rest for you, not by escaping reality, but by learning to place everything in my hands. When you try to do everything in your own strength, you are refusing the infinite strength that is always available to flow into you. But when you humbly let go, you do not become weaker. You open the way for my omnipotence to enter. And I do not only desire that you overcome, I long for you to understand, to mature, and to be transformed. That is why I invite you into a deeper illumination, a wisdom that only those who sincerely seek me can receive. This is not a knowledge drawn from books, but a wisdom that flows from my very spirit, an understanding that enables you to discern what is true amid the sea of falsehood, what is eternal amid a world built on fleeting things. I will open the eyes of your heart to see what you've never seen before, to recognize that even in the hardest of seasons, I am still moving. My child, if today you feel weak, that is not a sign of failure. It is my personal invitation. Come closer. Lean more fully upon me. I do not promise that you will never shed a tear, but I do promise that not a single one of your tears will be in vain. I do not promise that your path will always be smooth, but I do promise that your feet will never walk alone. I will teach you how to soar, not when the winds are favorable, but in the very midst of the storm. This is how I build the courageous. This is how I make you into a light in the night for a world drowning in despair. Believe this, you were not born for a mediocre life. Within you lies something the world cannot comprehend, but heaven has always known. I have planted in you a sacred potential, and each day I awaken it through every experience you walk through. Do not fear when you feel shaken. Do not be dismayed when you no longer hold the map in your hands, for it is precisely in those moments of uncertainty that I am opening doors to a life more abundant than you've ever dared to imagine. My beloved one, when you choose to place me above all else, when your heart is no longer torn between earthly distractions, then in that very decision you unlock the door to heaven's fullness. I am not only the one who sees your needs, I am the one who delights in meeting them in ways far beyond human understanding or measure. When I am given the highest place in your heart, everything else finds its rightful position. Every piece of your life, whether broken, scattered, or incomplete, will begin to come together under the tender hand of my love. I do not promise to make you wealthy by the standards of this world, but I do promise to make your soul rich in a way that cannot be shaken. For the prosperity I give is not bound by numbers, possessions, or human recognition. It is a fullness that rises from within. I long to see your spirit like a garden nourished by the ever-flowing stream of my spirit. I desire for your faith not to rest on fragile hope, but to become rooted deep in eternal truth. I yearn for your heart to no longer be torn by worry, but to rest in the unshakable peace that only I can give. Understand this, what I have prepared for you far exceeds anything you've ever imagined. My blessings are not limited by material boundaries or time. They do not come from merit, from desperate striving, or from things you feel you must prove. They flow from intimacy, from complete trust, from the decision to love me more than anything else. That is when grace begins to move. My gifts are not rewards. They are the overflow of my unwavering love. They carry an eternal weight, unfading, untouchable, because they are not born of this world but are breathed forth from heaven. Do not let your mind be entangled in unanswered questions. Do not allow the worry of tomorrow to become a burden that crushes your spirit. You were not made to live in fear, but to walk by faith. I am the one who is not bound by time, and I am already present in every moment of the future you have yet to see. As you step forward, you are not stepping alone. I have gone before you. I have prepared the way. I have arranged divine appointments, predetermined turning points, and doors that only I can open. My timing is always perfect. It never arrives too early or too late, no matter how your emotions may perceive it differently. There are things you have prayed for and earnestly longed to see, yet the answers seem to be delayed. Not because I have not heard you, but because I am waiting for the precise moment to give you what is best. Some doors may appear to have closed permanently, but in truth, they are merely being held for the most glorious hour. Trust that if I delay, the waiting is not wasted. It is refining your soul, deepening your faith, and laying the foundation so that when the blessing arrives, you will be strong enough to carry it without losing it. My child, do not allow impatience to steal what is being carefully nurtured in the unseen. The enemy will whisper that I am late, that I do not care or that you must find your own way, but I tell you this: every word I have spoken will be fulfilled. Not a single promise I have made will return void. If I have spoken it, I will bring it to pass. If I have begun a good work in you, I will be faithful to complete it. So rest in the quiet confidence that your life is held within a divine plan far greater than what your eyes can see. Continue walking in obedience, even when your steps lead through uncertainty or night. Keep sowing seeds of trust, of love, and of wholehearted surrender, for the harvest is surely coming, and it is not merely a harvest of material things, but of a soul reborn, strengthened, transformed, and lifted into new dimensions in me. You do not need to understand everything. Just believe. You do not have to be strong at all times. Just hold my hand. And when you choose to place me above all else, above your dreams, your relationships, your status, and your achievements, you step into a spiritual realm that the enemy cannot penetrate and the world cannot take from you. I have chosen you. I have called you by name. I have sealed my love upon your forehead. I am the one who fulfills what I have begun, and for that reason you can move forward not in fear, but in a quiet boldness, born from an unshakable faith that says, if God is leading, the end will always be life, goodness, and completeness. My beloved, live each day as though the promise has already been fulfilled, because in me, every promise is yes and amen. Now lift up your heart to me in a prayer that is honest and true. Lord, I come before you with a trembling yet sincere heart. I no longer want to live in hesitation, nor do I want to delay any longer when you have already called me. Today I say to you with all I am, yes, Lord, I believe. Though I am not yet strong and my heart is still filled with questions, I choose to believe that it is in this very weakness that you will move powerfully. Take all of me and grant me the courage to cross the line and live a life that belongs wholly to you. Lord, I repent for the times I have hesitated, for dwelling too long in the space between desire and fear. Today, I no longer want to remain on the edge. Set within me a flame of steadfast faith, so I will no longer be pulled back by compromise or the illusion of safety. Grant me a heavenly assurance that compels me to step forward with clarity and resolve, never turning back. Lord, please open the ears of my soul so that the noise of the world may no longer drown out your voice. Expose within me every silent compromise, every part I've withheld instead of surrendering to you. Purify me with the fire of truth, so that from this moment on, I may no longer live with half a heart, but with a fully surrendered soul. Lord, if this is the moment of transformation, then please mark it upon my heart as a new beginning. I don't want to merely exist. I want to live the life my Creator has destined for me. Grant me the light to clearly see your path, and the strength to remain undistracted by things that do not belong to my divine calling. Lord, I've grown too familiar with delay, with saying not yet, and with excuses. Today I lay aside every justification and respond to your sacred call. Soften my heart so I won't refuse you one more time. Give me the zeal of my first love, a love that holds no conditions and a faith that knows no bounds. Lord, I ask you to sever every tie that pulls me away from your divine orbit. Deliver me from every voice that does not come from your Holy Spirit. Heal the wounds I've used as reasons to avoid surrender. Place me firmly and clearly in the position you have ordained for me. Secure, unwavering, and unshakable. Lord, today I choose to place everything into your hands, my weariness, my unfinished dreams, even the emptiness no one else can see. I no longer want to live apart from you, not even for a single moment. Please touch my soul as you never have before, and make me a lamp that shines brightly in the night. Lord, I repent for ever placing you second. I tear down every idol that has silently taken your throne in my heart. Fame, emotions, people, habits. I surrender them all into your hands. Reign fully upon the throne of my heart, for you alone are worthy. Lord, lead me through the spiritual battle that surrounds my life. Expose every scheme of the enemy, and plant within me a spirit of sharp discernment. Let me no longer be blinded or misled by illusions. Shine your light into every dark corner of my soul. Lord, I no longer want to live with my feet in two kingdoms. I choose the light. I choose the truth. I choose you. Close every door that leads to darkness, and open the doors that lead to true life. Help me remain steadfast on the narrow path, even if it is hard, because it is the path that leads to glory. Lord, I lay before you my weakness, my exhaustion, the silent sighs of the night. Please give me in exchange a new heart, a heart that loves you, obeys you, and lives fully for you. I do not come asking for anything, but to offer everything. I cross the line, never turning back, and declare, Abba, Father, I belong to you forever. I offer this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. If you love the Lord, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss any of his life-giving and meaningful messages. Together, we will grow in faith and live a life fully immersed in his love. Amen.